More than half a year after the coronavirus disease, or COVID-19, first emerged in Asia-Pacific, new infections are still climbing sharply in some parts of the region. Some countries including India, Indonesia and the Philippines have not reached the peak of their first wave of coronavirus, while others such as Australia and Japan appear to be experiencing a second wave of infections, data compiled by John Hopkins University indicated. Globally, the virus has infected more than 15.1 million people across 188 countries and regions, killing over 622,000, Hopkins data showed. The charts below show the infection curves in 5 Asia-Pacific countries with accelerating COVID-19 cases. Last week, India became the third country, after the US and Brazil, to record more than 1 million cumulative cases of COVID-19, according to Hopkins data. The government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi implemented a strict nationwide lockdown at the end of March and started to lift some measures in early June. But the number of infections has continued to accelerate, with epidemiologists warning that the outbreak in India could still be months away from its peak, reported Reuters. Some have sought to put India's outbreak in context, saying that the South Asian country's population of more than 1.3 billion, the second highest in the world, makes its relatively large caseload somewhat expected. Despite that, India's coronavirus fatality rate is among the lowest in the world at around 21 deaths per million people as of Wednesday, according to statistics site Our World in Data. That compares with around 429 in the EU and 669 in the UK, the data showed. Some experts attributed that to India's relatively young population. Over the weekend, Indonesia overtook China to become the country with the highest number of confirmed cases in East Asia, reported Reuters. Indonesia is the world's fourth most populous country with over 273 million people and is still in the middle of its first wave. In the last few months, experts have warned that many cases in the country may have gone undetected given its lag in testing. Not helping the outbreak is the government's reluctance to impose stricter nationwide containment measures, even though local authorities are allowed to implement lockdowns to slow the virus spread in their respective provinces. Indonesian President Joko Widodo reportedly said last week that the country's outbreak is expected to peak in August or September. He also said he's pushing his ministers to work harder to control the country's coronavirus outbreak. Other than China, where COVID-19 first emerged, the Philippines was among the earliest countries to impose a lockdown on its hardest-hit areas. The government's lockdown on Luzon, the country's most populous island and home to capital city Manila, was imposed in mid-March before being gradually eased starting in June.